video, I would like to expose the real reason why crooked officials have taken Trump off the ballot in Illinois. Watch.
A Chicago City Council meeting was raw and real. Residents tore into city leaders over the 35,000 illegal immigrants who have poured into Chicago, and the city is on a spending spree for those people who broke our laws to get here. Critics are accusing the city of prioritizing border crossers over minority communities in particular.
Get them out of our communities because they don't deserve to be there.
Downtown has 3 to 4 illegal families on every block begging for work and selling Kit Kat bars after $1 billion was spent on them. Where is that money? Where is the money for the South Side and the West Side communities? Not another dollar for the illegals. If the crisis is so bad, the city council members who are so concerned should donate their salaries to the cause like a real public servant should.
That's from a recent, yesterday it was breaking live during this hour. That's from that city council meeting, and we couldn't see everybody, but we played it for you anyway. Now we have so much more of it to play. Illinois has spent more than $1 billion of Chicago tax money already on the people who are there. So the Illinois governor thinks he has the answer to it all. He's blaming Texas.
Abbott willfully planned the arrival of these individuals in locations and at times that would engender the maximum chaos for the city of Chicago. Think about that the next time a politician from Texas wants to lecture you about being a good Christian. They shouldn't leave it to the governor of Texas, who has no goal but to sow chaos and destruction.
Now, did you catch that? That was a straw man argument. He is blaming this all on Texas, and best believe there's some underlinings of race baiting in that. Because there's a lot of ignorant people that think Texas is somehow this all-white state with a bunch of white boys, cowboys still riding on horses. But we know what the real truth is, don't we?
Kata Truss has lived in Chicago her entire life. Kata, how bad is it?
It's really bad, and the sentiment of most of Chicago is that of the young lady, one of the young ladies that you heard, Jessica. The sentiment of Chicagoans is the same. And I just listened to the soundbite with Governor Pritzker, who wants to blame Governor Abbott. But I think that we have to be realistic in thinking about what the state of Texas was going through before they began busing migrants here. And I don't think we really think about that. So we're looking at it now as Chicagoans receiving migrants from the state of Texas. But imagine what it must be like in that state of Texas on a daily basis where people are arriving. Our president, President Biden, has not done enough. He has not done enough to secure the borders. He has not done enough to go in and propose some legislation that he can push forth himself to change this situation. And I'm telling you, we're so angry here in Chicago, which has been a Democratic stronghold for most of its eternity. This year, we're working to turn Chicago red. We are so angry with Pritzker and with President Biden and with our mayor that we have decided that we're going to vote Republican this time around. Wow. That's just how angry we are. We are so angry that we are willing and going to turn our backs on the Democratic Party. I sat in some of those city council meetings, and I looked at and I watched the aldermen totally disregard the voices of the people. And when I was going down there, we were coming down every week in the hundreds. And what we said did not matter. And when we were talking about changing Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, and keep in mind, we still have a right to do that. Just like Biden has the right to put forth an executive order to change the crisis at the border, Chicago's mayor has the right to put forth an executive order to change Chicago's sanctuary city.
Will he do it?
Of course he will not do it. If he was going to do it, it would have been done. And remember, there was a vote within City Council where the ordinance to change it was strucken down. And the mayor was the deciding vote.
Okay, so I want to play just a little bit. It's actually a clip from your Democratic mayor, Brandon Johnson, just after that City Council meeting yesterday that got pretty chippy. And at the end of the day, he is the one you are counting on in all of this, as you just said. It's his vote. It's his, in those meetings, it's his voice. It's his leadership that matters. Let's watch.
We're grateful that the state and the county is working towards providing more investments, even though we have to have a more substantive conversation about where those dollars will actually go.
So I just have one question. Chicago had a choice after Lori Lightfoot, who was breaking COVID protocols to go get her hair done and all sorts of things. They didn't have to go farther left with Brandon Johnson. Why did you vote for him?
I voted for Brandon Johnson because I knew him. I voted for Brandon Johnson because I thought that he would be good for Chicago. I voted for Brandon Johnson because, really, I didn't do my homework. Because had I done my homework and paid attention to the alliances and who he was with and who groomed him, I would have known better, and I would have voted differently. And that brings me to the challenge of really standing up and not just saying to Chicagoans or Illinoisans, but to all voters in this country, it is time for us to stand up and to vote our self-interest. We vote along party lines, especially as African Americans, and that needs to change. We need to start voting for people who are going to promote our self-interest.
You didn't do your homework because you still had Trump derangement syndrome. You had the woke mind virus. See, if you weren't so influenced by your own insecurities, the people of Chicago would have made the right vote the first time. You ignored Joe Biden's racist past. You ignored the fact that he went up against everything Dr. King stood for. He went up against integration of the school system. You ignored the fact that he openly admitted that half-breed Obama was the first clean, well-spoken black man he ever knew. You know, you ignored the fact that he tried to claim your blackness by saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You let a white man tell you that. You did exactly what you were told. Now the problem is the Dixiecrats of the South who migrated to northern states, who lynched black people and hung them for trees after the Republican Party gave them equal rights, gave them the right to vote. That was the main reason for your lynchings of the South, of our forefathers, I'm referring to, not us, but our forefathers. They were lynched because they were not allowed to go to the voting polls and vote for the Republican Party. Now you want to vote red. You want to vote for Trump. Well, your deep state corrupt government officials has taken away your right. Now, I suggest you write in to vote. But if you was willing to go, if they was willing to go as far as taking them off the ballot, how much farther you think they'll go once you write them in? So now you're left at your own devices. May God have mercy on you. This is Bill Banks signing out as the unapologetic Black Republican. Peace.